opening statements. We're going to go right into the question. The candidates will have the opportunity to make 2-minute closing statements. And our first question will come from Steve Roush.
All right, this question is for both John and Drew. What made you decide to run for mayor of Hillsboro? And I think since John's closest to me, I'll let John start.
Well, first of all, I want to thank this nice attendance this evening for all you citizens who came out in this blustery weather to hear the differences between Drew and myself and how we foresee wanting to take Hillsboro for the next 4 years and beyond. The reason that I threw my hat into the ring was to give the citizens of Hillsboro an opportunity to have a choice for a mayoral candidate. As you well know, only one party put forth candidates in the May primary. Therefore, the individual who won the primary in May would be leading Hillsboro in the direction for the next 4 years. I found this to be very unfair because 60% of the voters, the 4,200 voters plus in Hillsboro, are independent. 20% approximately are Democrats. So you have approximately 80% of the individuals, of the voters in Hillsboro, with no say whatsoever as to who will lead Hillsboro. I found that very unfair. There are other reasons, because I love Hillsboro. I wanted to give the citizens the opportunity to have a choice, a say in who is going to lead the community.
Thank you, John. Drew, same question.
Again, thank you for everybody who bothered to come out here this evening. It's great that we had a nice turnout. Why did I choose to run for Hillsboro? That's a question I still sometimes ask myself. But I chose to run for mayor because I really just wanted to make a difference. I could go on and on about it, but ultimately it's because I want to make a difference. I came here 7 years ago. This has become home to me. There were things I thought could be improved upon. I like the quality of life here. You know, the bottom line, I was thinking about it today. I was out at my farm about a month ago. I remember being out at my farm one day and a tractor wouldn't start. And there was no AAA. There's no AAA for farmers, for tractors. And I thought, and somebody immediately came over and helped me. And it occurred to me, that's why I like it here. There is no AAA for farmers. There is no AAA in a rural area because people help each other. You don't need AAA. And that is a good example of why I chose to run. Look at the give back.
John Lebo is a guy who has 13 years of experience on city council. Okay. 40 or so years of experience in the city of Hillsboro, including many years with the Chamber of Commerce, the JCs, helped start the Festival of the Bells, and so on. Wouldn't that kind of institutional knowledge and experience make John a good mayor?
No, personally, I don't think so. I'm going to tell a quick analogy why that is. I finished today phase 1 of a building that I started renovating almost 90 days ago to the day. A tenant came to me, and the tenant's no secret, is the Times-Gazette newspaper, looked at a dilapidated building and said, "Can you turn this into Class A office space?" I said, "Sure." And I said, "Yeah, I can do this." And then I sat down and I thought, how am I going to get this done? I'm going to get it done, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to need help. But I know we can do this. So I sat down. Then I collected contractors. Then I collected everybody around me. Then I stopped and thought about it. And I looked and I walked around the building. I did all my research. And 90 days later, for under $200,000, I renovated phase one of the old city firehouse building. And that was because I thought outside the box. I looked at a problem and I said, you know what? This is what needs to be done. I'm going to need a lot of help. There's no way I can do it myself, but this can be done. That's the way I view the mayor's job. There's no question that that I would walk in there and sit down for a minute and say, okay, now, how are we going to get this done? And I take that back to Mr. Levo. The question you asked about Mr. Levo, he says he's got institutional knowledge and he knows exactly what to do. Well, that's the problem. If he knows what to do day one going in there, that's what he's been doing for 13 years involved in city government here.
Okay. Let's let John respond to that. And if you'd like to respond to that, John. And
Mr. Abernathy, Jim Harden, he came to me with an idea of an annual festival. I took the idea and led it to completion. Now, over 25 years later, we have a Festival of the Bells. We have a festival that over the duration has brought over 100,000 and probably closer to 200,000 people into this community in the first part of July. Additionally, we have a multi-million-dollar YMCA that is sitting at Liberty Park. That YMCA, with some of my leadership on the initial committee that built it, has brought that facility to this community, something that we are very proud of. Under my leadership, we developed the Highland County Chamber of Commerce. I took an idea of networking and expanding the Hillsboro Chamber of Commerce, realizing that Hillsboro could not stand on its own with the Chamber of Commerce, that we had to reach out into the other communities in Highland County if we were going to progress. The Highland County Chamber of Commerce, over 20 years ago, was an idea that developed. And under my leadership, it is still functioning and is very, very, it's doing the job. It is respected throughout Ohio.
Drew's renovations of several Hillsboro properties have no doubt improved the uptown area. Do you admire what he's done? Do you see him as an economic developer? And wouldn't that entrepreneurial spirit make him a good mayor?
Drew is to be admired for putting some old buildings back into use. However, there are other parts of town that need to have the opportunities of renovating. There are as many buildings vacant in the northern part of town as there are in the 4 downtown block area. No, a developer is not necessarily a good candidate for mayor. He may be good what he's doing, and I admire him for doing it and stepping forward. But for his leadership, I really do not see it.
okay.